should have a good one.
Now here's Noel. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Here's Hudrick. Iverson covering. Dang dishes to Winslow. And it's Whiteside off the drive. Wash kicks to Udrich. Over to the left wing. Bosch in the post. He's covered by Noel. That's good.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
Now here's Iverson. He's looking for Noel and finds him. Here's Okafor. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
A different look for Miami. Haslam comes in for Hassan Whiteside. And Dwayne Wade subbed in for Luol Deng. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Heat.
That mid-range shot has been a weapon for them up to this point, folks.
They've established their presence in the paint tonight. Also, a lot of their scoring to this point coming from down low.
The 76ers trail by 4. Feeds it to Okafor. Passes to Covington. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. Covington's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. Winslow wide open. He fires, and he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Philadelphia has gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Picked by Okafor. Here's Covington. It's deflected. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession. And with a quick break in the action, let's now take a look at the top rookie free throw shooters in the NBA. Fifth best, Jahlil Okafor.
And really, he needs to continue getting to the free throw line as much as possible because he's pretty deadly once he gets there.
And it's hard to score in this league as a rookie. The charity stripe is one place where you can get some easy points where nobody's on you. And he's learned to take full advantage of that.
Winslow.
And one thing we know about Justice Winslow, he is great on the big stage. He was amazing in the tournament for Duke a season ago. Got better and better as he helped his school capture the national championship.
Stauskas is checked in for Robert Covington. So he gets them both. The 76ers trail by 3. The dish now to Stauskas. He feeds it to Iverson. 17-foot shot on the way. Stauskas with the bucket. With Winslow, it's all about improvement and being great on the big stage. I think he can do that, Greg. You talked about, what he did in that national championship run. Clark, he was a fantastic foundation to begin with.
Yeah, you know what? He's not got many holes in his game. Solid at the defensive end, can score a lot of ways, puts his hands on winning at both ends of the floor.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety. Well, early on in the season still, but Kevin, it's time to take a look at where the 76ers sit right now in the league stats. First in fewest turnovers a game, 4th in blocks. And they're right there, among the top 5 teams in second chance points. Doing a really good job of offensive rebounding and then being able to score the ball when they get that second chance.
And going back to their turnovers, fewest in our league, that shows you the intelligence they play with. You have to beat them. They are not going to do it for you.
The 76ers trail by 3. Screen by Boozer. Iverson outside. And it's Haslam with the rebound.
Good pick, but he just couldn't make it count.
Yeah, nice job of setting the screen by his teammate there, and I'm sure he appreciated it.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. Well, a scary moment for Chris Bosh last year. Had to be shut down, Greg, as we all know, for the season after a blood clot was found in his lung.
You know, and Kevin, it really puts basketball in perspective. I mean, it happened right after the trade deadline, and obviously a huge blow to the Heat in terms of their push for the postseason. But fortunately, it looks like he's going to make a full recovery and have a huge impact this season.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Chris Anderson has checked in for Haslam, and it's Dragic in for Winslow. Philadelphia also making some changes. Carl Landry's checked in for Okafor, and it's Grant in for Allen Iverson. Timeout called the 76ers.
You know, the Heat never really came back after losing Bosh. His presence on both ends of the floor is hard to replace, and they missed him a bunch.
Boozer a screen on Dragic. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Boy, an impressive job there by Boozer setting that screen.
And guys, I know I speak for everybody. Glad to see Chris Bosh back out on the floor. I mean, blood clots can be a very scary thing for anyone. And I think everyone is happy he's been able to make a full recovery. And I think taking a time here to talk things over is a smart idea.
One of the things you want to do is make sure everybody is clearly on the same page with the game plan. And sometimes you need a timeout to make sure that's the case.
The Heat have gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told. Again, the miss by the Heat.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you could hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
For Philadelphia, they have shot 67% from the line tonight, going 4-6.
And as a team, they're down around 72% for the season.
You know, they've really put themselves behind the 8 ball in so many of their games because they just have not been able to knock down those foul shots.
That one drops. He ties it up. Well, the plan has been obvious now, Clark, for a while. The 76ers really loading up on young players, letting them see a lot of minutes, and they're hoping it's going to bear some fruit, as you like to say, coming up.
Exactly, and it will in time because they've accumulated some really nice young talent, Kevin.
Again, the miss by the Heat.
Boy, from my angle, it looked like it was in the bottom of the net. Looked good from here.
Yeah, I'm about as shocked as you are, Clark.
And that one's good.
Most any NBA player can make you pay when you leave them that wide open. That's why you have to stay alert on defense.
And with the 76ers, it's not just on the floor that they have stifled the progress. That they've taken 2 top picks knowing they would sit out a full year just to rehab injuries. You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Here's Stauskas. Misses off the right iron.
You know, one thing few people talk about with the Sixers, this plan of building through the draft and with young players, what if it actually works to their benefit? Then it would become a copycat strategy because we know in the NBA, it's a herd mentality if something works.
Well, one thing that you can always say about Dwayne Wade is that he is at his best when the game is on the line. He truly lives for the big moments.
He does, and Wade has been in so many of those big moments over the course of his career. 5 trips to the NBA Finals, and he really does thrive under pressure.
The Heat making a switch here. Deng's checked in. Now, here's Marshall. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Here's Landry. Shot is no good. Nice D from Bosh.
And for Wade, when it comes to being clutch, a lot of it is experience. I mean, it's not just during the playoffs. He knows when to step up in the fourth quarter during the regular season. Very productive in the fourth quarter from a scoring standpoint.
Wade averaged 7 points in the fourth quarter of last season. That was 3rd most in the NBA. A big part of it is how he can create his own shot. When the game is on the line, you want him on the floor with the ball in hand.
Whiteside's checked in for Miami. Now, here's Marshall. Landry in the posts. Whiteside's there. And Whiteside sends it back. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Whiteside. Here's Marshall. Clock at 6. Pass to Holmes. 11 feet away. That's short off the rim. For Miami, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field here in the second.
Inside 2 minutes.
They set the pick. It's Dragic with the drive. Dishes it to Anderson. Whiteside against Landry. Whiteside, no good.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Outside Dragic. Back to Anderson. And that's good. And it's Dragic with the assist. Anderson's got his first points in this one. The 76ers trail by 4. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you'd think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
Here's Wade after the Sixers pick up 2. Here's the floater. Kicks it to Whiteside. And there's the feed to Dragic. Off target from outside.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
Here's Landry. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That's on Dwayne Wade. And for Carl Landry, he powered his way through the league a few years back, but somewhere along the line, Clark, his game kind of topped out.
His best season, Kevin, he averaged 18 and 7. I think injuries have been a factor. But last year was down to 7 and 4 his game averages, so he's starting to slide.
Noel's checked in for Philadelphia. Cannon comes in for Grant.
And back to Carl Landry. Sophisticated scorer, a variety of post moves, a tough guy willing to play through pain, but he just never had the size or explosiveness to dominate. And now that he's getting a little older, that really has become an issue.
Good.
He's fortunate that shot found the bottom of the bucket. It wasn't the highest quality look.
76ers trailing. Now Marshall. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. And that is good.
Effective screen set there for the jump shot. That was the key to the play.
Outside Dragic. Right side a screen. Shot off the pick. It's all tied in Miami. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. I'm here with Coach Spoelstra. And, Coach, how do you rate the team's defensive performance to this point?
We're playing our normal defense, which is to be aggressive, disruptive. And for the most part, we've been able to cover ground except for the fouls at the basket.
Coach, thanks for the time. Gentlemen, back to you.
Thank you so much, Doris. Great interview as always. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with the second half of basketball shortly.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And an exhilarating first half, to be sure. Welcome back. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be breaking down all the action for you. A tremendous game we're seeing from Chris Bosh. He ended up with 17 points and 8 rebounds. It's really great to see him back to what appears to be top form coming off the injury. There's a sense of reassurance that he's healthy after the first 2 quarters back. Kenny, let's start with you. What'd you think about the Heat?
Well, they're paying attention to the boards, and that's a good thing. When you're trying to get ahead and stay ahead, it often comes down to a few key possessions. Any extra rebounds you can get is a big difference. I like their intensity out there.
Shaq, what'd you think about Philadelphia?
Their transition game was really strong. It really fueled them, gave them a big injection of energy into their offense. If they can maintain that fast style in the second half, they got a great chance to take control of this game.
And now, folks, it's just about time for the third